The year 2026 promises to be a special milestone for the Ballon d'Or, as it coincides with the World Cup taking place in North America. In the past, Luka Modrić in 2018 and Messi in 2023 proved that a brilliant performance at the world's biggest football festival can be the golden key to unlocking the Ballon d'Or. So in that picture, when Lionel Messi is still dreaming of a ninth title in history at the age of 39. When Kylian Mbappe still longs for his first touch of the title that he has been expected to win since 2018. When Erling Haaland continues to spread fear with his goals. And when young faces like Lamine Yamal or Olise are ready for a generational revolution. The reigning Ballon d'Or holder Dembele is ready to defend his crown. The question is who will step onto the podium of glory in Paris in September 2026. At the age of 39, Lionel Messi is still at the center of every discussion around the 2026 Ballon d'Or. Notably, Messi is no longer in the race because of his performances at Inter Miami. His dribbles and goals in MLS of course still make social media explode whenever they are shared. But that has never been the reason he makes the shortlist. The real weight comes from the Argentina national team, where he remains both the spiritual and tactical leader. Since the 2022 World Cup, Messi and his teammates have shown no signs of slowing down. Argentina has continued to prove its dominance in South America by adding another Copa America trophy to its cabinet, further strengthening the belief that they are capable of making history. Under coach Lionel Scaloni, the team is aiming to become the first national side since Brazil in 1962 to successfully defend their World Cup crown. And in that journey, Messi continues to play the role of conductor, both as the spiritual inspiration and the player who knows how to decide crucial moments. If that scenario happens, if Messi can lift the World Cup trophy once again on American soil, he will almost certainly become the leading candidate for a ninth Ballon d'Or in his career. What sets Messi apart is his influence beyond statistics. He no longer needs to score 50 goals a season to prove his worth, just a few moments of genius. A decisive pass or a fateful goal are enough for the world to acknowledge that Messi is still the soul of modern football. In the race for the 2026 Ballon d'Or, Erling Haaland is a name that cannot be overlooked. At 26, the Norwegian striker has become a symbol of destruction in front of goal. With a scoring rate so consistent it borders on the absurd. In 2022, Haaland came very close to the Ballon d'Or after a record-breaking season with Manchester City. He finished runner-up in the 2023 Ballon d'Or, only behind Lionel Messi. However, since then, Haaland has struggled to regain the recognition he deserves, placing 5th and 26th in the following two editions, despite still maintaining his elite scoring form. Moving into the 2025-26 season, things are looking brighter. Haaland has started with arguably the best form of his career, combining peak fitness, perfect positioning, and an unstoppable killer instinct. Yet, to conquer the Ballon d'Or, goals in the Premier League alone are not enough. He needs the extra push from the grandest stages, where reputation is magnified. First and foremost, the Champions League. Haaland did reach the summit of Europe with Man City in 2023. But to truly convince voters, he will need more dazzling performances in the knockout rounds, perhaps even another Champions League trophy. At the same time, he is also awaiting a rare opportunity with the national team. For the first time in more than 2 decades, Norway is on the verge of returning to the World Cup, their first since 1998. If this becomes reality, and if Haaland can lead them past the group stage, he would gain an enormous boost in prestige, cementing himself as one of the defining faces of the North American World Cup. Another year has gone by, and Kylian Mbappe still has yet to lift the Ballon d'Or. Ever since his dazzling breakthrough at the 2018 World Cup with France, experts have been convinced he would become the rightful heir in the post-Messi and Ronaldo era, even the winner of multiple Ballon d'Ors. Yet to this day, Mbappe has always been among the leading contenders but has never managed to get his hands on football's most prestigious individual award. With the national team, Mbappe remains the undisputed leader. He has already lived through unforgettable milestones, winning the 2018 World Cup, scoring a hat-trick in the 2022 final, and now carrying the mission of leading Les Bleus to glory in North America 2026. France is always among the strongest contenders for the throne, and Mbappe will undoubtedly be their number one hope. If he can lift the trophy in the United States, he would be almost certain to climb the podium of glory in Paris later that year. At the club level, his move to Real Madrid has opened a new chapter in his career. While last season the Spanish giants didn't collect the kind of silverware that would boost Mbappe's Ballon d'Or case, his individual brilliance was undeniable. He finished as La Liga's top scorer and remained the striker every defense feared. As the 2025-26 campaign kicks off, Mbappe has started in razor-sharp form, signaling a potentially explosive season ahead. Real Madrid has placed immense faith in him to spearhead their Champions League ambitions. With proven experience and mentality in both the World Cup and Champions League, along with the ambitious environment at Real Madrid, Mbappe is undoubtedly a heavyweight contender for the 2026 Ballon d'Or. Among the candidates for the 2026 Ballon d'Or, the name the entire football world is most eager to see is undoubtedly Lamine Yamal. At an age when most players are only just taking their first steps into professional football, Yamal has already been hailed as the best player in the world right now. If he can maintain his trajectory, no one doubts he could become the youngest Ballon d'Or winner in history, surpassing the records of any legend before him. In 2025, Yamal made a meteoric leap, proving himself not just as a prodigy but as a star capable of defining an entire generation. While his goals and assists may not yet outshine those of big names like Rafinha, Salah, or Dembele, his style of play brings a unique and undeniable difference. That was enough for the 18-year-old to finish second in the 2025 Ballon d'Or voting. Heading into the 2025-26 season, Yamal faced a minor setback with a groin injury that kept him sidelined at the start. However, that has not diminished the expectations resting on his shoulders. The moment he steps back onto the pitch, Yamal immediately turns La Liga full-backs into victims of his trademark flair, pace, and creativity. At just 18, he has already grown accustomed to breaking age-related records, from the youngest goalscorer for Spain to the youngest player to feature in major tournaments. The pivotal point in Yamal's 2026 Ballon d'Or journey will be the World Cup in North America. Spain are considered strong contenders, and if they can claim the trophy with Yamal as their brightest star, the Ballon d'Or would be almost certain to fall into his hands. Such a scenario would make Yamal the youngest ever Ballon d'Or winner, while also ushering in a new era of dominance in world football. The reigning Ballon d'Or holder, that is how the football world is now calling Ousmane Dembele. After years of battling prejudice about being talented yet fragile, the Frenchman exploded in the 2024-25 season, becoming a key figure in Paris Saint-Germain's title sweep under Luis Enrique. Winning football's most prestigious individual award marked a spectacular comeback for a player whose career had so often been derailed by injuries. However, as the 2025-26 season begins, the challenge for Dembele is even greater. He has already been sidelined at the start with another injury, raising doubts over whether he can replicate the consistency and brilliance of last year. Dembele's career has always been tied to ups and downs, and to maintain his status, he must prove he is not just a one-season wonder. The next turning point in Dembele's Ballon d'Or journey will arrive at the 2026 World Cup. While Kylian Mbappe remains the leader of the French national team, Dembele could well emerge as the X-factor. If France climbs to the throne in North America and Dembele leaves a strong mark, he could very well become one of the rare players to successfully defend the Ballon d'Or. The shortlist still features many other potential names who could make a big breakthrough. For instance, Rafinha has transformed into an efficient attacking spearhead, capable of becoming Brazil's brightest star at the World Cup. Alongside him, Pedri carries the echoes of legends like Xavi and Iniesta. And if he leads Spain to the top of the world, he could well establish himself as a new Rodri for Spanish football. In another development, Harry Kane has proven his class in a Bayern Munich shirt, not only scoring consistently but also carrying the England national team. Michael Olise continues to impress with his spontaneous, aesthetic, and captivating style of play. And finally, Mohamed Salah, though struggling with inconsistent form at the start of the season, could absolutely re-enter the Ballon d'Or race if he manages to rediscover his best. The 2026 Ballon d'Or race promises to be one of the most dramatic and unpredictable seasons in history. After more than a decade of witnessing the absolute dominance of Messi and Ronaldo, the picture has now changed. The stage is no longer an exclusive duel between two superstars but a multidimensional showdown across generations. Of course, it is still far too early to say who will hold the advantage. There is a long road ahead before the award is handed out. Perhaps an unknown underdog might even rise to shine brilliantly and step into this prestigious race.